Well, welcome back to the Athens Church College Homebody podcast. Would like to welcome our special guests for the day. We have Emerson and Aiden, and they're a part of our house. And if you don't know me, then I am Janie. I am a part of the college team here as well. So would y'all just feel free to introduce yourselves? Like, how'd you get involved with Athens Church? All of that.
Going first? Okay, great. I'm Emerson. I am a recent graduate, and I've been going to Athens Church for 4 years. So I served my first year as a freshman in Wamba, and then I joined the staff and was a Wamba LDP for 3 years.
Shout out Wamba.
Shout out Wamba. If anyone wants to come hang out with babies and preschoolers, let me know. But yeah, I came as a freshman out of state. I'm from Durham, North Carolina, so it's a little bit of a drive away. And didn't really know anyone, but found my home here at Athens Church.
That's awesome. My name's Aiden. I'm a rising senior at Georgia, which is crazy to say.
Wild.
Feels like just yesterday I was at the Arch Retreat meeting our college pastor, Josh Bain, in the lobby. And that was when I knew. I was like, this is going to be my place. Josh, and I had lunch, and he was like, man, we want you to get involved here. And I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit in this episode, but just decided to get myself rooted quickly. And this was my place, and found my people, served in transit, which is our middle school ministry, for a couple of years. And now I'm really involved with our college ministry, and Emerson has dragged me down to Wamba a couple of times to hang out with some preschoolers too. So it's been a great time.
You know Emerson at all, she'll get you serving with the kids.
That's right.
So amazing.
That's right.
But I'm just so thrilled to have you guys on the podcast. We love y'all so much. But let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So today's episode is about friends and roommates. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Just want to start with, what are y'all's experiences with your roommates? How'd you meet your roommates? Are you still friends with them? What is all that like? Emerson, if you want to share first.
Yeah. I met my freshman year roommate. It's kind of a crazy story. So my middle and high school best friend was born in Georgia and lived here for a couple of years because her mom went to nursing school here. And her mom's best friend from nursing school had a daughter about the same time, born and raised in Georgia. And so we decided that me and my freshman year roommate, if we were both friends with the same girl, we had to get along with each other.
Right.
And she was the only person I knew really coming here, and decided over FaceTime one day that we'd be roommates solely because we had a mutual friend. And I didn't even meet her until freshman year orientation, which we were the very last orientation in August.
Oh my goodness.
So about a week and a half before we moved into our dorm. And it was truly the best experience I could have had for a freshman year roommate. I don't know what I would have done without her because I truly did not know anyone. And we just clicked as if we'd known each other for years. And we were only roommates freshman year, but we're still close. She took my senior pictures, so it was like very full circle for us.
Wow.
And then even my roommates since then have been great.
That's awesome.
Oh, sweet.
And my story is kind of unique. I met my freshman year roommate, actually senior year of high school. I was invited to a fraternity party up here on campus, and one of my now friends that is just graduating with Emerson invited a bunch of us seniors who had gotten into Georgia up. He was from Decatur. I'm from the Kennesaw area, so northwest Atlanta. And we got to meet, and there was a group of 6 of them, but I remember meeting them and having so much fun with them, and was like, Lord, if one of those 6 guys is supposed to be my roommate, would you make that clear? And 2 weeks later, this guy texts me and goes, hey man, I don't have a roommate, and enjoyed hanging out with you so much the other night. Would love for you to be my roommate.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's actually a really cool full circle moment. I'm actually living with him again this summer. He and I are actually both working at the same firm as well in Buckhead. And so
Wild. Years later.
It's gonna be a great time.
Years
He's
later.
like, dude, I got a sauna and a cold plunge, and we're gonna be having a great time. So it's really awesome that we've been able to stay in touch.
That's so
that's how I
awesome.
met my freshman year roommate, which is really cool.
That is absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Yes. I met my freshman year roommate, freshman year. She's from Indiana. So
That's
didn't
right.
know anything about her before she came in, really, other than that she loved cows and has cows, which is so awesome. Like, such a
And
fun
you're
fact.
from Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. But so cool, and we're still best friends, which is just incredible. But what's funny is that I feel like a lot of these, if you're a freshman listening, you might not have even met your roommate at this point yet. So wasn't that kind of your story, Emerson? Like, you didn't know your roommate really, and you met her like right before you moved in. What was that like?
Yeah, we had texted a couple times and talked about what dorm we were gonna live in, and just like a few things here and there, and had like answered some questions over FaceTime. But I never met her until freshman year, and it was really interesting. Just, you never know how you're gonna mesh with someone. You never know what that's gonna be like. But I think we went over that awkward phase really fast, and it was like, we got along super well. We knew we were going to live well just by the way we went through orientation together. And
That's
even
good.
being in different orientation groups, we found each other for lunches and dinners, and we stayed that first night in, oh gosh, Russell during orientation together. And I think that's when it finally clicked that like, oh, this roommate situation is really going to work out,
Right.
even though we've only had one night together.
So
and
good.
I mean, it was a great experience. And it's more nervous going into meeting them, and then once you meet them, it's like you feel so at peace.
Oh, which is great. And I feel like, I mean, everyone coming in here is pretty much coming in like you're all in college for the first time. You're all figuring this out for the first time. You're all doing orientation for the first time. Orientation is just like a blur sometimes. It's you're so tired. You're like, what is going on? What are they even talking about to us? Like, I have no idea. So that's fun. You know, you're coming in all experiencing something for the first time together, and that is just super bonding and also humbling. So it's great, and I think that's a great way to start to make some friends at orientation, which is so awesome. But you know, it's all fun and games until it's not. It's all fun until it's not. So these are some great roommate stories. But what if someone's coming in and they're like, "What if I have a bad roommate?" You know, because there are some roommate scaries. So let's
Roommate scaries.
There's some roommate scary stories. Like I have heard some, and I know people listening to this podcast have probably heard some. Oh my gosh, my roommate was terrible freshman year. Like that's, you know, so hard. So do y'all have anything to say about that? Like if someone's like, what if I have a bad roommate? You know, what would that look like for me? What if we have conflict? How do I navigate that?
Yeah. I think the first thing that we were kind of talking about this beforehand was just communication is key and kind. And my roommate and I communicated all the time,
Right.
Whether that was sharing our location or, you know, letting somebody know, hey, I'm going to be in the room with some friends or, you know, a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. For me, obviously it would have been a girlfriend, but just in general, just kind
Right.
of letting people know, communicating.
Right.
Clarity is kindness. So we just were always communicating with each other. But I also had some buddies that, you know, didn't have great experiences
Right.
and would have to leave their door deadlocked because their roommate was going to be coming back super late and would wake them up. And,
Yeah.
and so I know that's something we're going to talk a little bit about, just kind of in general friendships and, you know, how your roommate doesn't have to be your best friend
Right.
in college. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would say. Clarity is kindness, and really communicating with your roommate can go a long way, even if you're not best friends. So.
That's so true. And what are some like other specific things you think you need to communicate about? Like what are those conversations that you're gonna need to have with your roommate?
Well, my roommate and I, we had some really fun questions that, I mean, I was very picky about them. Not too picky, but, you know, you have to sleep. You're going to be living with them for a year.
Right.
So my very first question was, does she snore? Like, you have to ask what you got to ask.
Let's be so for real.
And she was like, only if I'm like exhausted, like totally worn down. And so she didn't, and it was great. I think the other thing is what temperature do you want your room at?
Right.
Like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Some people like it warmer, some people like it colder. You want to be a happy medium. We were a pretty good happy medium. My hot take is I like it at 74. Most people don't.
See?
That's a little warm.
That's a little bit of a hot take.
I know.
But you know, you got to find someone who also shares the same hot take.
Yes.
So that's great.
And then I also think you need to talk about like your sleep schedules. Like we both went
Yeah.
to bed on the earlier side, so we never really had to worry about waking someone up coming in late at like 2 a.m. or something.
It's great.
But some people tend to stay up later and they're just normal
Yep.
night owls. And so I think that's a conversation you have to have of you want to be able to coexist, but also like you are sharing one small space.
Right. Sharing one small space. And I feel like just adding on that, some conversations even about like the dishes, and it's like, hey, can you make sure that when you cook something, or like, I mean, I guess in the dorms you're probably not going to be cooking, but if you lived in ECV like I did freshman year, like that little sink can pile up and get gross. And taking the trash out, oh my goodness, the trash pile would literally be probably as tall as I am, and the trash can is half the size I am. So if that says anything about how hard that was, like sometimes you'd need 2 trash bags to take out the one
Yep.
like just bin of trash. So kind of having like a schedule for that, like, hey, I'm gonna take the trash out, you know, today, and maybe you can do that tomorrow, or like, hey, if you like cooked or like did all these things, can you
Yep.
please wash your dishes, make sure you put them away, or just have a system for that. Like, I'll do the dishes today, you do them tomorrow. And even just like washing towels and things. Aiden had an opinion about
Yeah,
that.
my mom would come into our room and be like, buddy, it smells a little interesting in here. So then my roommate and I we'd kind of walk in and be like, does this smell interesting in here? Do we need to wash our towels? But it's kind of, you just do it together. So then it's like, okay, it's not just your fault. Like we both live in here because it is such a tight
Right.
space in a freshman dorm. So
Right.
obviously that changes when, you know, you move into something else. But as a
Yeah.
freshman, that's it can be a big deal sometimes. You want people to enjoy staying in your dorm without it reeking of something nasty. So
And sometimes that's actually a good point. Sometimes you don't know if it's
That's
bad
right.
until
Yeah.
you have somebody over and they're like, "Hey man,
yeah,
have y'all cleaned recently?"
that's right.
Have y'all cleaned recently?
Yeah.
There's something called all-purpose cleaner. You can spray it on top of the anything and just clean it off.
That's right.
So it's good to have friends over who can give you that perspective sometimes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are definitely some conversations that you'd want to have with your roommates. But you said something earlier about like, is my roommate going to be my best friend? Do they have to be your best friend? Or do they not have to be your best friend? Like, what does that relationship you think need to look like?
I don't think your roommate has to be your best friend. I think your roommate can be your best friend, and that's awesome. But I also think college is so different for everyone that you can be really close with your roommate and they're still not your best friend.
Right.
I think my freshman year roommate and I, we were very good friends. And like I said, like we clung together as we were attached at the hip first semester. And we had a very good relationship. But I didn't feel like I had to force her to be my best friend, and vice
Right.
versa. She wasn't forced to be mine.
Right.
And honestly, I didn't find my best friend until sophomore year. And I think that was a big thing of, I'm really glad me and my freshman roommate had each other freshman year, because I think we really leaned on each other.
Right.
But we knew like there was so many more people to meet and so many more friendships to form with people that it was not, oh, we found one person and we've clung to and we get along, so that's that. I think that people kind of put an expectation on freshman year that like you have to meet your people, you have to find your best friend.
Yeah.
And don't be discouraged if your roommate isn't your best friend, because you guys can get along really well. You can be super close, but still feel like, oh, maybe we're not like best friends. And that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I remember sending my mom a picture of my freshman year roommate and I eating at the dining hall
Yeah.
the first week of school.
Was
And
it
then I
Fulton?
literally don't think I ate with him one-on-one in a dining hall the rest of the school year. Just because
Yeah.
we found different circles. We pledged different fraternities and he had his friends and I had my friends.
Right,
And
right.
so it almost turned into something. If we wanted to spend time together, it was like, we
Yeah.
got to intentionally plan that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he was a bad dude or I was a bad dude. It worked. We were great roommates, but we only saw each other when we were in the room, and that was kind of it. We ran with different circles, and that was okay. And so it was kind of fun to get to be like, hey, let's grab breakfast together on Thursdays because we're both headed to class at the
Yeah.
same time. And
Yeah.
that was kind of fun to kind of plan some intentionality around that friendship. And
Right.
like I said, now we keep in touch, and so once a month we'll have a lunch at a dining hall. We're both juniors, and it's kind of fun to keep in touch with your roommate that way. So bottom line is they don't have to be your best friend.
Right.
And it's great if they are. And if they're not, that's okay. You can still be friends with them.
Yeah.
And they may run in different circles, but now I see him and his friends know me because we were
Right.
roommates and vice versa. And so it's kind of fun. You kind of get to merge each other's circles a little bit, which
Right.
is awesome.
That's so good without trying to like force.
That's right.
Like if let's talk about that. Like friendships, friend circles, like you're going to make some friends at orientation and then you're going to make some
If
friends.
you're like Janie, you'll make friends at orientation.
If you're like, yeah, you'll make
Maybe
friends at
not me.
orientation every single year. But yeah, so friend circles do change. You're gonna make friends at orientation that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, these are gonna be my buddies, and then you might not ever actually see them again. And then you'll make friends like your first week of freshman year, just like freshman week. There's so many things going on campus. Like different campus ministries have different activities, different clubs. Like Tate is kind of like a crazy center. Like there's tables everywhere, and they're all like, "Oh, come join this, come join this." And so you're gonna do a lot of things your freshman year. The first few weeks, like you're gonna try to meet so many people and be in so many different circles. And like by the end of your freshman year, you've like been in probably a lot of different circles, and you're trying to figure out, all right, I guess maybe this is what I enjoy. These are the people I enjoy. These are people I don't enjoy. But even after that, there's 3+ more years of college,
right.
and friend groups and friend circles are going to change as like you change as well, and you kind of decide like who you are and who you're going to be and what you want to be around, and you want to surround yourself with people who are like you a little bit but are also like different than you and can call you up, call you higher, and all of that. But what does that really look like, you guys think? Like different friend groups, circles changing, what has been your experience with that?
You want to take it?
Yeah.
First?
I think we were talking about this, but there's like a myth or a pressure that you have to find your best friends in your close friend group your freshman year. And that's not necessarily true. If you do, great. If you do, they may change. Like I had a group of friends that I ran with freshman year, and we're still good friends with them. My circle shifted a tad. So
Yeah.
now I don't live with those guys. They live in a house close by, but it's not like I'm doing everyday life with them. They go to a different church and whatnot. So there's a lot of fun ways to meet friends freshman year. And I would just encourage you to make as many friends as possible. And then, go deep with a couple people. But I love referring to Jesus's friendship circle groups, the 3, the 12, and the 72. He had Peter, James, and John, and then he had the 12 disciples, and they had 72, the crowd that followed him. And I kind of love having that motto. You have your 3, try and find your 3 that you're like, okay, I'm influencing them, and they're allowed to influence me. Like I trust their judgment. They love Jesus, and they love me. And then you have your 12 that are like, okay, I'll have some influence on them. They'll have some influence on me, but maybe they don't know everything about me. But we're following Jesus together. This is fun. Then you have your 72. Like, it's great. We were talking about being friends with people in our classes and having conversations with so many people, because you're going to sit down with random people at the dining hall. And I would just encourage you even just to take out your AirPods at the lunch table and have a conversation with somebody. It's so crazy what people get into. My brother was sitting down at dining hall, had a random conversation with this guy from the Netherlands.
Wow.
And part of our story was being born overseas in Europe. And so just even getting to connect on that, that link. And I've had a full conversation with a guy in German at the dining hall. And it's just so fun because, you meet so many different people at university. And so it's so fun to kind of watch some of those circles shift and it's okay if you don't find your people your freshman year. My brother was just a freshman and still would probably say that he hasn't found his tight-knit group of people. But he's made a ton of friends, which is awesome. So that's what I would have to say about that.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like I for sure didn't meet my super close group of people, or we didn't become super close till sophomore year. I joined a small group my very first week here through Athens Church, and I'm still in that group 4 years strong.
Let's go.
And so that's been a really sweet community, but it's branching out and putting yourself out there is how you're gonna meet people. I didn't know a single person in the group. I didn't know any of the leaders. I knew nothing except that I wanted a community and I needed to go out of my comfort zone to find that. I think it's also really important to talk to people in class. There are people who I've been lab partners with that I do not know at all. Like, we talked that one semester and did our chem lab and that was it. But also I have a really good friend who I met first semester freshman year statistics, and we are still friends. And so it's just little things. You never know who's going to become a close friend and when they are. My current roommate, we were in the same OChem lab and didn't know that we would be friends until I saw her on a Sunday morning because she was serving in Upstreet. So it's little things like that where maybe you're in a class together and then you see them somewhere else and it's like, oh my gosh, we have all of this in common. So now we're friends. Like, we went to a concert together and that kind of bloomed our friendship. So and that was end of sophomore year. So what you do freshman year and the people you meet, yes, it's great and they're going to help you through that. But also, it's okay if you're only friends with them sophomore year or freshman year, or you're friends with them all 4 years. And I think, like Aiden said, like, you keep your circle close, but then you're going to have so many people that you're going to interact with, whether or not you realize it. And someone might recognize you. And you just have to go with it and see what the Lord takes you in that and who they put in your life. And just,
That's good. I love what Emerson said about getting plugged in to a small group at local church. That was probably the best decision I made freshman year, was joining a freshman guys small group here at Athens Church. And I had a friend that I never would have thought I would be friends with who was from Colorado, out of state, like you, Emerson. And it was just so fun. I was like, I have a friend from Colorado that goes to UGA. This is so fun. So awesome. And we were in the same small group, getting to talk about Jesus and hang out. And now we're still running with that crew. We literally had our last small group for the year. We had a little dinner the other night, and it's kind of bittersweet because we're like, man, we're going into our last year, but we've been friends for 3 years now, and walking life with each other. And so that would just be my encouragement to anybody that is coming in and is like, hey, I'm following Jesus in college. I want to really find some Christian community, is to find a place, find a church. Whether it's Athens Church, we'd love for you to call Athens Church home, but find somewhere that you love, and really plant yourself and get plugged into a small group, because I mean, you'll have accountability, you'll have friendships, you'll have a bunch of people that are wanting to run the race with you. And so that has been the most encouraging thing and decision that I've made in college, which is awesome.
That's so good. All of that is so good. And just to add a little bit, like, you're gonna continue meeting people even going into your senior year. I mean, there's this girl I met like in August I'm a senior now, about to graduate, and
rip,
literally
Don't say
I
that.
know, I'm so
Don't say
sad.
that.
Don't make me cry. But there's this girl I literally met who's a sophomore, and we got coffee and just talked for like 4 hours, and now she's literally one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Will probably be in my wedding someday. Like,
That's awesome.
which is absolutely incredible. And I'm a senior, and so you can still make really close friends and choose to pursue those friendships. And I mean, if someone's, listening to this asking, okay, but how do I make a friend? Like, but what does that look like? Do I just go up to somebody and be like, hey, do you want to get coffee with me? Which is funny because I do that. I sometimes do that. Like if I'm like, oh my gosh, there's these girls that I think are really cool, and maybe they're a little older than me, a few steps ahead of me, and I'm like, oh, this would be really awesome. I want to learn from them. Kind of want them to take me in a little bit. You just got to be like, have enough courage, have the 20 seconds courage to just go up there and be like, hey, like, would y'all want to get coffee sometime or this, that? I've made some great friends just by, saying like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? And I think I talked about it on the last episode, but I do love coffee. But more than that, like, it's a great way to just say like, hey, let's just hang out, get to know each other. Let's go on a walk. Let's do something. Or whether it's like, let's go play golf or whatever it is that the guys do and want to hang out with each other. Walk down Village, whatever it might be. But like, just go and, be a little bit forward. Like, hey, I want to be friends with you. And people are probably thinking the same thing.
That's right.
There's other people who are hoping that might be sitting in church alone. Like, I just want someone to come up to me and be like, do you want to be my friend? And that has happened to me, and that has happened to people I know.
Yeah.
But you can take the initiative on that and be like, hey, I want some friends. You can go find some friends.
That's good.
And like getting connected in a small group, you're putting yourself in a situation that literally fosters friendship. And so that's another great way to make friends. And continuing to reach out to people and say like, hey, can you just pour into me? Can you give me advice about this or that? And then ultimately, when you're all grown up, and you're a senior or junior, and you want to pour into people who might be a freshman or a sophomore, like those can still be super rich friendships that are just so wonderful. Yeah.
Janie, if I can add something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shameless plug for serving, but I started serving as a freshman, and now being on the other side of it and being on staff and getting to love on my college volunteers has been a really sweet thing of I get to take freshmen out to coffee and sophomores out to coffee, and people who like they're new to college and they have questions, and like I get to be now in this mentor role of getting to love on them. And so anywhere you serve, I'm pretty sure at any church you can go to, there is someone who wants to mentor you and help you and like be friends with you. And some of my closest friends I've met because they were serving.
Yeah.
And I got to get coffee with them, and now we hang out outside of church and outside of that. And so I think if that's another way to find community and find people who want to love on you.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm just trying to even think just the importance of finding the right friends.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to just have friends to have friends.
Right.
You may be an extrovert like Janie and be like, I just want to be friends with everybody. And that's great to some extent. And that's why I talked about the 3, the 12, and the 72, allowing certain people to influence you.
Absolutely.
And that's why I talked about joining the small group, because you have people that are loving God and loving you at the same time. So you want to walk life with people that you want to be like.
Absolutely.
We always hear it said, you're the average of your 5 closest friends. And it's like, so who do you want to be? What kind of person you want to be? And if you're really wanting to find really good friends, putting yourself in circles that are going to be the type of people that you want to be and help each other grow. But you can find that randomly though, because one of my best friends now, who's actually on our last episode, Daniel Gray, I met him at the gate at a football game. And literally,
That's
I just
amazing.
walked up to him and I was like, are you a pastor's kid? You're talking like you're a pastor's kid.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And immediately connected.
That's awesome.
But like that was the Lord, just randomly bumping into people. So I'm not saying don't just go make friends. Go make friends.
Go make friends.
Don't be scared to make friends.
Right.
But when it really comes down to it, you want to pick your friends wisely and be walking with people that are going to be walking the way you want to walk.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And there's this whole thing about, you definitely need a balance of trying to be friends with everyone and saying yes to everything, especially as a freshman coming in. I tell people, you're going to say yes to too many things. You are going to, if you're anything like me.
Yeah, if you're Janie, you'll say
if
yes
you're
to a lot of
Janie,
things.
if you're anything like me, because I'm so extroverted, like you're going to overcommit and be like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. And I want to do every campus ministry and I want to do every club. And I want to, they invited me to play pickleball. I'm going to play pickleball with them. But then these people invited me to do this. I am sports, so I'm going to do that. And you're just like so overwhelmed. And on top of that, you're taking all these college level classes that you might be a little bit harder than some of your high school classes, unless you literally just took all dual enrollment. Still though, it's different in a different environment.
Yep.
It's just you throw yourself in literally the deep end and you're trying to swim. So to a point, it can be a negative thing to say yes to too many people at once, especially your freshman year. Because then you're going to be exhausted and you're going to be overwhelmed, and then you're going to be burnt out and be like, I'm giving up. I can't find friends. I'm done. And then on the other side, if you say no too often, if you're scared, it's hard, as I'm sure, as an introvert, and or just coming in. If you went to a small private Christian school like I did, or a small school, and coming into UGA is huge, massive, like big school party culture, as we've talked about, all the things, like it's just overwhelming, and you might tend to close up and just be like, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to stay in my dorm. And that, can make you feel very alone and sad sometimes, honestly. And so it's important to be able to find that maturity to say no, but to also say yes and step out of your comfort zone, because that's where you're going to like make fun memories, and just do random things with random people.
Yeah.
And you're going to have like some great fun, just college experiences. And that all just comes with learning. So freshman year is definitely full of like kind of trial and error. Honestly, when making friends, you're going to make some great decisions. You're going to make some poor decisions and be like, all right, well, maybe I won't do that with these people anymore. And that's just freshman year. And it's okay to navigate that because you have so many more years and you'll make close friends with other people. But yeah, so say yes, but also say no, and, try to find a balance of that, and know yourself well too. And if you get burnout from that. One more question, and then I'll ask y'all if you have anything else you want to share. But I know when I kind of touch back on Emerson, a little bit out of state, Durham, which I just recently visited, is beautiful. But as someone who's out of state coming in state, not knowing many people, you feel like everyone who goes to Georgia or UNG is like, they're all from Georgia, and so like you're already like missing out or feel like you might be. How did you navigate that? What would your advice be around that?
Yeah, I think I'm an introvert, so I think going out of state itself was kind of hard because I'm like, one, I already don't know anyone. Two, it's a huge school. But I think that it was something that I really wanted because I really wanted to grow in that aspect and just force myself to go meet new people and experience like just a different state. And I love my hometown. Like I love North Carolina. I think it's great. But I think I just really wanted to take something away from college that was new.
Yeah.
And it is so intimidating when you don't know anyone and you see people who like say hi to everyone on the streets because they like went to high school with them or they're from the same county, which also Georgia refers to everything by counties, and it really throws me off because
awesome.
we do not, like I do not prefer, I'm from Durham County, I'm just from Durham.
Right.
So that was a learning experience. But I think also you get to meet so many cool people, and the small group that I'm in, everyone is from Georgia. And I think it is fun because I get to be that like not different perspective, but like also different perspective in a way.
Right.
But it's also really cool when you meet other out of state people who came here, and it's like, yeah, I'm not from the state, but like I love the school and I'm really glad I went here, and I get to like call myself a Georgia girl for a couple of years, which is fun.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't let it discourage you if you're like feeling a little lonely. Like I know freshman year for sure was hard for me because my roommate was from an hour north of here. Like she could go home on the weekends if she wanted to, whereas I'm a 6-hour drive. And so it didn't really make the most sense for me to go home, but it also then forces you to like find things to do on campus and to just branch out a little bit and meet people. And then I also like, I got to go to her hometown and do like a hometown tour up there.
So fun.
And so I think that's the sweet thing about having people who are in states. You get to go to their hometowns and see how they lived. And then over the summer, like my friends would come up to Durham and they'd visit me.
So fun.
So I think it is hard, but it's also so worth it. And if I didn't come out of state here and I stayed in state, there are so many people I wouldn't have met. Like I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I wouldn't have met the people working at church or on campus or anything. And like some of these people are some of my closest friends, and like they will be with me after I graduate, after I go out and I'm an adult and in the world. And like these are the people that I'm going to remember and I'll visit all the time.
That's so awesome. Good. That's wonderful. Well, all right, coming to the end of our time here, but did y'all have anything else that's on your heart? Any more advice? Any last final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the person that may be just anxious about finding friends in college. I know that I didn't have great friends in high school and growing up because we moved a lot and, whatnot. And so I'm thinking, putting myself in those shoes again. And one of my biggest prayers was, Lord, would you bring good friends that love Jesus, that are fun to hang out with and enjoy the things that I enjoy. And he has done that in abundance. I can't even express how thankful I am for my friends that I've made in college. So one, I just want to say that to encourage anybody that's listening that may be a little discouraged coming into school, but also to know that, hey, if that's not your experience freshman year, the Lord is going to provide. He will. And we say this phrase around here, but we like to call Athens Church a home away from home.
Yes.
And we'd love to be a home away from home for you.
Yeah.
We have a group of college students that serve here at church. We call them the home team. And in a shameless plug, we'd love for you to join the home team.
Join the home team.
Because you will find people that
be a
love
part of
God
our family.
and be a part of our family, that are just fun to be around and love Jesus and enjoy so many different things. And just would encourage anybody to trust the Lord that He's going to provide for them, provide friends for them, and He's going to give them the people that they need when they need them. So that's just my encouragement to anybody that's listening.
Amen.
Yeah, I would just say that freshman year doesn't define you. Like freshman year, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all have changed so much since freshman year.
Absolutely.
And probably for the best, let's be real. But I think that just a reminder that you're experiencing a whole new thing. It's a whole new city, a whole new group of people, new classes, new everything. Like nothing feels like it was when the first 18 years of your life.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define you, and you can always change and make different choices and do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But that your past isn't like whatever you do freshman year, all the decisions you make, good or bad, it's part of your story, but it's not the end.
It's good.
Right. That's so good. And I'll just add on to that saying like, if Athens feels like such a foreign place to you coming in, I know it did to me. I didn't know anything. If it feels like such a foreign place to you, it's going to get real familiar real fast. And that's going to be so endearing and so warming. And now as a senior graduating, y'all can attest, I've been so sad. And just so it's such a bittersweet ending because like how incredible that I've loved this place so much. Like all of Athens, my heart is literally like formed in the shape of the city. I feel like I just love this place so much. And so even if your freshman year, has ups and downs or you feel lonely or this or that and can't really find your people, like just as a testament from me, like I have found a home here and I found my people, and I'm so sad to leave because I've loved it that much. So there's so much hope there. There's so much hope. But all that to say, thank you guys so much for joining me
Thanks
in
for
this
having
episode.
Yeah, of course.
So thank you for listening to the Homebody podcast, the Athens Church College podcast. Please stay tuned for some more episodes. We've got some more awesome topics coming up that you definitely don't want to miss. But thank you.
Let's go.
Yay.